I'm doing this for 19 years. Come on, fight these tears. And with that being said, hello and welcome to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And today, as you can see, this is actually really now the last part of the Art of People summary by the paulminers.com website from the author Kern somewhat. So yeah, I am an 18-year-old graphic design student from Austria, and I'm pretty into self-development, and therefore I'm doing this podcast, and therefore I'm going to give you, or try to give you, as much value as I can give you. And after this one, I actually do not know what I'm going to talk about then. I might be actually like, yeah, I'll just pick one summary just find here on the paulminers.com website if the powermoves.com website is not working. But let's see. So be inspirational. Remember, it's not all about you. And that's so fucking important because this is something I say and talk about every single episode. But I hope that people who are listening to this shit just understand it. It's not always only about you. You should be speaking in terms of the other person to really achieve something in terms of you and them as a connection or relation or partnership or whatever. If you want to get a job and you're only speaking about, yeah, you are willing to get this job, you won't get it. You just have to be like, yeah, I do want this job because I want to help you grow your business. And this is the point, because you then show them value. You give them value and you give them some expectations that you should actually be kind of living up to, but you speak in their terms. So yeah, this is fucking important. I think this is actually one of the most important things I've ever learned in my fucking entire life. But let's see. So whether you're speaking to an audience of 3,000, 330 or 3, if your hope is to inspire them, your material and delivery have to be about them and how they can grow, not about you. So, yeah. I'm doing this for 19 years. Come on, fight these tears. I just have to check my WhatsApp, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for that now, but it's kind of important, but I cannot just move on. So, Kern recognizes that too many people get caught up in their own agenda and end up focusing on themselves and their product too much. They forget what the aim of the fame is, to sell something to other people. Therefore, it's essential that you focus on them. So, this is just the same shit as I was talking about yesterday. If you want to sell your product and you have a target audience, you will definitely be making a fucking product that is so fitting to them that they actually will just throw their money at you to just give this product to you, or to them actually. So, if you know your target audience, please make your product in terms of them. Because, making it any other way would be just fucking dumb. If you do have your fucking target audience, exactly who this is, how old they are, how they act, and whatever, all these certain things, you can design a product that's so fitted for all these people who fit into these categories. So, yeah, they will just buy it. No matter what, some sort of. It's essential that you focus on them about how your product or service might better their life or solve a problem they have. Aim to help people imagine a life with your product. How does it fit into their life right now and what problems does it solve? And this is also, the fact. If you're having a product, this product should actually be solving some kind of a problem. Or solving a problem. The thing is, a problem is some kind of very, very subjective. Not being happy could be a problem. But the thing is, not being happy could be solved by entertaining someone, or could be solved by just, really shooting for the long term and making them happy in the long term, and so on. So yeah, it's always some kind of important to just look at it and be like, yeah, how could I bring value to those people? And therefore, value, as I said, is such a thing that's so subjective, and there are so many things or so many actual doings correlated with bringing value or giving value to somebody else. So yeah, it could be just making them happy in terms of entertainment. It could be giving them actual value in terms of information or knowledge. Or it could be like, yeah, just some really stupid, dumb shit, but they like about and they like it and they laugh about it, and so this makes their day. So yeah, random acts of happiness or kindness. This is actually the thing, or that thing actually, that I always suggest people to do, and at my point of view it's pretty important to do, because I'm just showing that you just some kind of appreciate people, or just kind of point out some things. I always give the example with the man and the coat. If somebody is wearing a really great coat like this clothing thing, the coat, you really should be, if it's not quite strange or crazy or something, you should, go to him and tell him, yeah, I really like your fucking coat. Not with the fucking, but go to him and tell them. It's very important, because it will make their day. It will make it, no matter what. They will just, think about it the whole day long, and just, tell it the other people, tell it their wives, tell it their husbands, and whatever. They will tell other people that they, got something really kind from another person. And this should be done with everything. So you should really prize every single kind of thing or good thing or well done thing people do. The fact is that if a baby, and this is also something I just talk about every single time, if a baby is really like, the first step, or I don't know, the first word or the first something, and then someday later it's just so cute and everything is great and you praise every fucking single step of this baby, but you do not praise any single step a coworker is doing great, or your boss did great, or your sister did great. And this is the point. We actually only point out things when we just look at babies. Most of the time, yeah, there are certain people which is just really great that just, really point out things that they like about some people, and or some things that they have done well, and so on. So please, just if you see that your coworker is doing something so incredibly great, tell them. It's not that hard. But the thing is, a lot of people just point out the fucked up parts about others' lives, or what they did wrong or not so good. And you shouldn't be doing this. It should be some kind of balance, and actually more in terms of more and more towards the positive thing than the negative thing in terms of the balance. So random acts of kindness, to actually read the fucking paragraph, Kern emphasizes the importance of a random act of kindness and how it can make anything feel better. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Totally not, no. Just something little, such as picking up litter, holding the door for people to enter a building, or retreating people, promoting something new. All you need to do is stop focusing on yourself for a few minutes and focus on someone else. And this is actually some kind of the fundamental of Gary Vee's $1.80 Instagram growth strategy. It just really builds on the fact that you do not only care about yourself. This tactic is like, you go to the 9, I think it was it the 9? Yeah, just say it. No, it was the 3. You go to the 3 most important hashtags of your niche. Then you go to them and like and comment on every first 9 pictures, or 10th, at the end it should be some kind of 90 posts. The thing is, and the actual some kind of background of this is that you comment on other people's posts to some sort of create exposure for yourself. So you'd be like, yeah, this is a great photo, I like it, or something else. The thing is, you should always be a little bit more specific, because people tend to really have a lot of auto-generated or auto-posted comments on their posts, which, you can totally see, especially if somebody is just acting like, it's a real photograph, even though, in terms of me, I'm now speaking out of my own experience, it's only, a Photoshop made picture. And so this would be a little bit embarrassing for you and would not make any sense for you, and this wouldn't make or bring you any value back. So the thing is, you give somebody else something, because it's also good in terms of the algorithm if you just comment on somebody's post, because the more comments, the more the more the algorithm favors it. And you get something back because you create yourself exposure. And I actually think that Instagram as well some kind of then treats you a little bit differently. If you post a lot, if you like a lot, if you comment a lot, if you DM a lot actually, and all these things. So all these social things actually, what a social media platform was meant to be. The thing is, if you do these things, the algorithm seems to be a little bit more favoring you. And this is something I just really, really experienced some kind of, and I cannot just some kind of scientifically or really, really prove it, but it feels for me like this, because every time I actually do it, like, every time when I'm in the train, I'll, like people's posts and comment on them and do these things. But I then really see that my likes and my followers and my comments also go up, which is kind of funny, but it would make sense, because a social media platform actually wants people to be social. This would be intelligent of them, and it would be good for them, because the more people are actually acting or doing something on the platform, the better. So, constrictive, or isn't it constructive? Constrictive? Anyways, constrictive criticism. Actually pretty important, and I do have to say that this book is a great book. And if you do have the chance to really go through the whole book, I would really suggest you to do it, because it is actually pretty good. Because it some kind of summarizes everything that I kind of value in my life, and I would say, and you really suggest somebody else to do. As well as constructive criticism, because just criticism that some other people can't really work with is worth less. Because if you just tell them, you're shit, you can't do this, you are just, incompetent or whatever, this will make nothing better. It will make everything more worse and worse and worse, and the worst actually. Because what, if you just tell them you're shit, what should they do with this information? They can do actually nothing with it. And this is the point. And if you just tell them, in terms of a presentation maybe, you go to them and be like, you've spoken pretty good, but some sentences didn't make any sense, so just, maybe you just look for them and see, or just make some sentences before the presentation and prepare a little bit more or better, and so on. So these are things people can work with. But let's actually see what he is saying about it. So no one enjoys receiving criticism, but Kern explains that constructive criticism is a core component of improvement. Totally true. Feedback is so important and is entirely necessary. That's totally true, because how would you know if you're actually good at something if you do not have any feedback? So if you either can't, or both actually, either can't choose for yourself or just understand it for yourself, or kind of, how should I say, kind of rate it for yourself, and then nobody else is doing it as well. So you're just doing it and you don't know. So criticism is actually good to just look at your failures, even though, and this might happen a lot, especially on the social media platforms and so on, if you just do make a mistake and you do not see it actually, or something is bad about something, and so on and so on. So yeah. When providing feedback, ensure that your criticism is always constructive and consider the following points. Don't deliver critique in front of other people. Don't try to shame someone. This is actually true in terms of in front of other people. It's always a thing when you criticize someone. If it's constructive or not, they will always feel a little bit more attacked than if you just talk to them when you're alone. Because yeah, I just feel like it. I can't really prove it right now, but I feel like it in terms of my experience. And also the thing is, if you just compliment somebody before or in front of other people, they will just be totally more flattered than just if you tell them, one-on-one. Which makes sense because a lot of people hear it, so a lot more people will hear it and recognize it and just really see it. Yeah, this dude is appreciating him. Oh yeah, I maybe look for him as well and just see if he's actually doing this that good. And then they see actually, yeah, you are doing it that good. Some kinda, maybe. Have a one-on-one discussion, always good. And I think actually for constructive criticism is totally great, a one-on-one conversation, because at my point of view, yeah, as I said before, nobody will get attacked that much because you maybe do not feel so vulnerable and not that attackable actually. The third one is consider the praise sandwich. Start with a compliment, followed by a criticism, and round it up with another compliment. Actually a good thing, but the criticism should never be like, yeah, you made this good and that and this and that and whatever, but please never use a but construction, even though it's pretty hard to some kind of, not use but, because it's so into us. And this is also the thing why you shouldn't be using it, because everybody knows that if you say a but, something negative will come and something negative will happen. You will say something negative. So do not use but. It's always some kind of hard to really explain it. But yeah, let's see. Maybe you should not use, so in terms of presentation, maybe you should not use that kind of small text. Actually, and I would try to speak a little bit more louder or more loudly. This would actually be then criticism with criticism, but it doesn't sound like criticism, for me at least. And it sounds a little bit more kind and more, how should I say it, not that attacking, not that bad, not that shitty. Yeah. And the fourth one is, rather than just identifying issues, suggest positive solutions. Definitely true. Just pointing out what somebody was doing wrong or not good or whatever, just tell them actual solutions. It's not that bad and it's not that hard to do and not that difficult to do. So yeah, why wouldn't you? The thing is, the only thing why you wouldn't do it is if you actually do not know the answer yourself. So yeah, and don't dwell on the negative. This is when you receive criticism, which may not be really constructive. Is it constructive or not? Yeah, it's constructive, not constrictive. So constructive criticism. Don't dwell on negative things. It's just wasting a lot of energy, and also complaining is wasting such a lot of energy. And to just have to see, I'm sorry. Nothing will happen that makes it better if you just dwell about it or complain about this negative feedback or whatever. Just look at it, see if there is something you can actually take from it, if there is actually something that's constructive about it, and use it to get better and better and better. Failure is something for me, and this is, how I got taught it some kind of, or how I learned it from the people around me until, I really thought about it myself. all these people were just saying that failure is some kind of negative thing. But I think it's actually not. Failure is such a great thing, because you then can actually see, what are you good at? What are you not good at? How could you improve, or in what should you improve? And so on. And if you just, try to achieve something and you just fail 100 times, and on the 101st time you just actually achieve it, then you know that the 100 things didn't work and the 101th thing did work. Yeah. Happiness is key. Totally true, because at my point of view, happiness is, money comes with happiness. So if you work on something that makes you happy, you will work so hard on it that actually the money will just be a byproduct and will be there, even though you're not that driving for it or thriving for it. So Kern's last tip is that you need to keep people happy. He recommends you consider creative ways that you can surprise the important people in your life and promote happiness and joy. Consider your employees, colleagues, clients, friends, and family. Try and surprise someone every day with a little bout of happiness. Whether it be a small compliment or sharing a joke, the little things go a long way. Actually true. Consider writing thank you cards. Although a bit old-fashioned, a thank you card can be incredibly influential. It shows that you care and you took the time to sit down, write a personal note, and send the card. It's a really simple task that can build loyalty. Trust and deepen relationships. You can also send small, thoughtful gifts. They don't have to be big or lavish. A small pot planned for an office or a bottle of wine can go a long way. Totally true. It's just about thinking of other people. They will just feel flattered because, it's not something expensive, or it's not something that's, you put a lot of work into it, but you put some work into it, and so you put some work into your relationship with this certain person. Another thing that Kern recommends you to try to do regularly is introduce people to each other. This lifts up both people you are introducing. They will feel worthy and important, and it should provide a mutual benefits. It should, So, really just introducing people to each other or into each other that aren't fitting with each other won't be, I think, the best idea. And or, just connecting people which, would make sense, but, nothing will come out of this relationship. So it would be just, I know you, and the other person knows the other person, so, nothing happens. This might also be, But if you know that this person, and that person can really help this person, then really try to connect them. And because, you just strengthen your relationship with these two people, and you strengthen the relationship between these two people, themselves. And now we are at the end of this article. So the conclusion, the key takeaways. Self-awareness is key. Aim to understand yourself first, then you will be able to understand others. Self-awareness is actually so fucking important. And something I actually really try to work on more and more. And but I some kind of think if you just got into the framework or the actual frame of actually thinking about it, you just do it some kind of passively. You just progress in other certain areas of your life, and then you feel like this is something for me, and this is something that's not for me, and this is something that does me any good, and this doesn't me any good. So humans love to talk about themselves. Totally true. Stop passively listening, simple waiting for your turn to talk, and start actively. Interrupting people may not be the best thing to do. It's at my point of view, and I feel like it, even though I sometimes will be doing it because I'm not that listening to it maybe, it's something that's not that good. So, when networking, aim to stand out in a crowd. He actually then in the paragraph explained that you should just wear just really funky clothes to stand out of the out in a crowd, might actually be working, even though I just found this advice a little bit crazy or strange, because it's something I do not want to say too obvious, but everybody would do it, but yeah, it's it's actually good that he pointed it out. Let's see. Oh my god, this is too bright. Use social networks such as LinkedIn to meet people. Totally true. Encourage people, or just DM them on Instagram or on Facebook if there is a possibility. I think there is. Just DM them, and just maybe you kind of offer them your things or your skills and whatever, and then you might get something back or not, or you just build yourself a relationship with this certain people or person. Encourage people to come up with your idea all on their own. Actually, true, is a good thing. Don't deliver sales pitches. Focus on storytelling. Storytelling is really important. Learn to pick up non-verbal cues, understand what they mean. So body language actually, and mimics as well. It's often easier to change your own mindset than it is to change someone else's mindset. Actually, completely true, but I do not know and can't think of a situation that or word this would be useful to know or to use, or so I would really not suggest you to do it, because if you have a great mindset, do not change it. It would make any sense, especially in terms of people who are just some kind of lower in the level as you are, in quotation marks. Aim to teach, show people how to do things rather than telling them. In order to teach, you need to be patient, totally. As a leader, it's important to be transparent. So also just being responsible for everything, because you are the leader. No one else in this, if you're maybe a leader of a company, so a boss, no one in this fucking company has anything to say but you. So you are the one who is just really responsible for every fucking thing that happens in your fucking company. Even though it was actually a worker who made the mistake, you should act on it, because it's your business. And you should either just, then fire them, and or just teach them how it is correctly done, and maybe you just, send them to a seminar or something else. But it is your business, and it's your responsibility how your business is doing. If you create yourself this framework and this mindset, you really set yourself a position that you are really able to change anything you're doing or anything there is, because you are the only one who is responsible for everything. So it's also only your turn to change all these things. And so you will do them, at my point of view, actually a lot more, or the chances a lot more that you actually do them, than you're just saying, this is the other person's, the other person should be blamed, it's not my fault, and all these stupid things. But you are the leader. You are the leader. Learning how to resolve conflicts is really important, for both conflict that involves yourself and conflict between two other individuals. Ensure that any criticism that you hand out is constructive. And the last one is aim to keep people happy. Do little things to brighten people's days. Totally true. Because just because. And then there are actual action steps, which are: start the process by aiming to understand yourself better. So self-awareness, actually. Figure out what makes you tick, what motivates you, what makes you happy, and how you relate best to other people. We have covered 11 tips in the summary. Try to introduce these into your life one by one. And download the complete book on Amazon, or actually buy it. I could not look up how much it cost, because it didn't see my whole fucking address, and I do have to blur everything again, which is something I do not want to do, because it's way too much work, additionally to it, which would not be necessary. So categories. He actually has a podcast, but I think I will just now talk a little bit about something. So as I was telling you yesterday, actually, or the episode that will come today as well at 8 p.m. some sorta, or 10 p.m. actually on the podcast and on YouTube. I'm going to an event today, and I will come home fairly late, I guess. Which is the reason why I'm recording it actually so fucking early. But the thing is, I do not really wanna, be so stressed and put myself into so a stressed position, especially when I haven't slept in 2 days. So in the last 2 days, I've only slept in total 10 hours, which is something I totally not suggest you to do. You should always be just trying to get all the things done in the day and do not waste your time with things like, watching YouTube or watching Netflix or listening to music instead of actually working on the things you want to achieve and want to do. So in terms of me, I will do these things anyways. Nevertheless, or if I go to bed at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't care. I will do these things. And I do actually have to post a post for tomorrow after I come home, because I use Buffer. So it's Buffer, and there is a free plan of it which costs nothing. And there you can schedule 10 posts for 10 individual social media platforms and so social media accounts, which is totally great because I do have 8 right now, 8 posts every single day on 3 platforms. So Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah, Instagram is doing the best right now, which is kind of obvious because Instagram is doing in general the best of all these three platforms. But the thing is, I can only schedule 10 posts, but I do have 8. The thing is, I have scheduled the post for today already yesterday, which means that the first one was at 8 o'clock, the second one was at 10 o'clock, then 8 o'clock or 8 a.m. actually, 12. So 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m., which I didn't really know. I just thought it is 12 a.m. as well and not 12 p.m., even though it's just noon. So I don't know. Then 2. So it's always 2 hours in between. So then 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m. and then 9 p.m. because 8 and 9 p.m. are the most traffic building or traffic having times for me or on my account or for my account. And this is the reason why I then just put out 2 pretty much after each other, because to really just get that traffic. The thing is, to really shorten the story now, I can only schedule 10 posts, which means that I do have left 4, I guess, around. I could actually look it up. I could do it. I do have, let's see, it is loading. It is reloading the site. I always have this one open. I do have 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it should be 4. Which means that I can actually only post 6 of the other ones for tomorrow to actually be able... No, it's 3. 3, then it would be 7, which is a total pity, because I then really have to go to my PC at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. whenever I come home and actually post this fucking piece of shit. Yeah, I will do it anyways, even though I do not have to, because this post is actually at 9 p.m. so everything should be fine. Actually, everything should be fine, but I do not know why I do have 4. The thing is, it's not working that good, to be honest, because sometimes posts actually do not get scheduled because of, I don't know why, which then means that I have to manually post them, which is a pity, and which is just really taking up my time. But yeah, its actual program is for free, and I should really not complain about this, because yeah, I can use it, and it's such a good thing for me. Without this, I couldn't really run my fucking Instagram page. The thing is, yeah, they have paid plans, which cost, let me see, $15 a month or $144 per year. This is a pro plan, and then you can actually schedule 100 posts. This is something I think, never need, unless it's such a certain position that I'm now in, which is a little bit, a pity. And I do really have to post these posts right after this episode, and I do hope that in terms of the time, everything will be good, because actually it's quite a lot of work to. I think it's actually more work to post the post and make the post actually than really making these videos or this podcast, because it's just I sit here, record it, then afterwards I cut out the whole audio file, do a little bit post editing so that it sounds a little bit better for the podcast, and then I upload the video simultaneously to editing the audio, and then I upload the audio, and so then I just let everything be it until it is uploaded, and then everything is fine for me. So, but with this being said, and to prevent me running out of time, I have to say goodbye, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful and happy day, or the rest of the day, or happy night, whatever time zone you're actually in. And I'll see you tomorrow, totally, and I love you. And I'll see you the next time. See you. I love you, and I hope you are so fucking happy and have wealth, success, health, all these things.